Today, I'm going to be talking about two Exakta cameras. The VP Model B, I don't know which version, and it shoots 127 film, and the VX AA, which shoots 35 millimeter film. The VP was made around the 1930s, and the VX was made around 1960s. I got this camera off of eBay as well as the other. So the 1960s one I bought first. I found the 1930s one, I didn't actually have to do anything really other than clean the lens and clean the inside where the curtain rolls through so that way it doesn't jam up. You see how I'm able to roll the thing in and out of the camera so that you could take a photo? With that, it was jammed, stuck, full of guck and everything. And the person who owned it before me obviously got that very dirty and stuff that it would not budge. So I was able to get that camera for cheaper than what they originally wanted. So now I just gotta put film in it and take some shots. And I think it's pretty cool that I'm able to look at the image in front of me through this prism is like so large compared to the 1960s version that comes out later. Then I was like, wow, this is great. And it also has a magnifier that pops out for me to see in more detail what I'm shooting, if it's in focus or not. That's so cool. It's too bad I can't switch that one onto the later version because it's so big. The plate, it also has a hole in it, so that way you can see the number on the paper. That'll tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, however many shots, and when it finishes. Unfortunately, you cannot rewind back. And because you can't rewind it back, with the spool, you end up just taping it off and sending it off to go get developed and stuff. So the 1960s camera here, it was so messed up. It was caked in dust, dirt, mold, fungi in the lens that it came with. It was not working properly whatsoever. Originally, my plan was just clean off all the dirt and what I can. I'll leave the lens and the body for somebody to fix. I was turned down by a lot of the camera companies in as well as outside Arizona. And because nobody will fix it, and my partner was like, I think you should just have a go at it fixing this camera so that way you've tried. And then if it just hasn't improved, then I'll go and send it off either to Germany or Japan where they'll still fix this, considering the condition it's in already. I forced myself to do a job I did not want to do because I did not believe that I could fix it. I mean, a typewriter is one thing, but a camera is totally different. You see that curtain is all dried out. And then you see where the 2 screws I have pulled from that got stuck in the body. And the mount, it pops out compared to the VP, which is internal. And I use gun oil and I use antiseptic alcohol when I'm cleaning it. There's the back plate, and this thing pops off quite easily. But unfortunately for me, it was stuck. But you see this long pin there. So the head of the pin, I ended up using my special tool. I don't know what it's called. Pull it out, and then here is my typewriter rolls, sanding them down into points so that way they would fit into the 2 holes of this thing, because this goes right on top of the forward assist lever. I could not unlock. I'm trying to twist it, my hands are hurting, I'm scraping the thing. This was so Loctite, I had to use this tool again in order to unlock it. And I have multiple screwdrivers because you're going to need them. And then I have alcohol swab and a oil swab, and you want to keep those apart. I was having so many issues first, the black gear and the gold gear. If they weren't put exactly at the right looseness, I had issues. I had to take it apart at least 8 times, and it was irritating me so much because I'm like, oh, the spring, I have to redo it again now that I took this up, because I have to make sure that the gear is moving with the lever when catching on to it and stuff. And it's just I ended up finding the curtain screw. When I had loosened that, it helped the curtain to just release fully when I'd be winding it, because I ended up winding this thing up probably, I forgot how many, like 4 times of 30, searching for any issues with it whatsoever, and it finally worked. But the little black gear, I had to turn back and forth with the screw, and that's when it was making it work with the reflex mirror popping down And it's like, oh, that's great. And then the curtain going, but it would only go so far because the screw for it was too tight as well. That one I was able to put back tight again. At least that one, it was like a one and done kind of thing. It was just the screw. Someone had tightened it too much. There was a signature under there, but it was like a KH or something like that. So I guess that person kind of decided, I want things tight. And it kind of made it stuck. Because I bought a fresh one because I thought it matters. And then I realized actually it doesn't. I ended up removing the mirror and I ended up buying the mirror made for the Exakta. The mirror that it originally came with, it had like certain stains stuck on there. It would not come off. I was just glad I replaced it. So that one, it's still missing an eyelet on the side. And that's why I ended up just buying a case for it. They would sell for with them back in the day. So I found one, I bought it. It's not for my camera make, but my camera fits in there and it'll be held by that because I don't trust putting an eyelet in that thing and then going, I'm going to carry it around my neck like this. I'd rather it just be held around the body and just carry it with the leather from there. And I find the viewfinder to be much smaller. I mean, you can see when you put this right next to the VP. Then when I saw the lens, it was all with a bunch of fungi on the inside and dust and stuff. I had to take it apart. And when I took that apart, it was a headache because I had to use the typewriter rolls to untie the lockup bits on the lens. And this one actually has a protector, so that way if you press the shutter button, it's not just gonna go take a picture. If you already wound film in there, it's gonna prevent that from happening. Taking things apart, you're gonna find a bunch of dirtiness, not just dust follicles and stuff. I hate bugs, and when I find bugs where I don't wanna find them, it icks me out. So I was grossed out. Anyways, both the lenses work. I actually thought I was going to break them, that they won't do the job they're supposed to do. And I was freaking out about it a little bit with the big lens. I'm like, this thing already doesn't work. I'm glad it works. I'm glad the little one works because I was like, no, why did I want to clean the lens? I should have just left all the fungus in there. It'll add to the photo. The camera will focus on the fungus instead of what I want to focus on in the image. I'm just glad I was told to clean the camera and the lens. Well, anyways, that's the release button there because it has a release on the top for you to just go on ahead and rewind it back into the canister and then send it off to get developed. The gear that you have to go and put your film on and make sure the holes are in there and it'll be winding to the left. And this is to cut your film. So that way if you have another canister for the other side to put the film in, you could cut it and then pull out the spool that you're not finished with to shoot with later and put color film in there or black and white film, slide film. And then there's your spool right there. That's the lever for removing your lens. And these are the two broken screws that broke in the body of the camera right there, holding that bracket. I ended up using super glue. I painted the name. I painted the pinholes on the back. I actually did the inside as well. I didn't show that. Putting this on there, I realized I did this wrong. You should actually put the film through the spool and then put the spool in its place and then tighten a little bit and then you're done. So that way you can avoid the film being too loose and then, having pulled so much that you're losing film to shoot on.